I guess, sitting in jail or something. I guess it you would think it does, but while committing the act, like, dude, you know how a crime of passion is one thing, but like premeditated that's insane, because you're literally like, you're going through steps in your head on how you're executing a mission to be able to commit a murder. That's crazy to me. That's, yeah, insane. Okay, let's move on. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it.
Won't extradite you if the case you're involved in, the death penalty could be involved. If the death penalties could be involved, Cyprus won't send you back. So the county prosecutor back all the way in Ohio said, no, of course not. There's no death penalty here. Yazeed's attorneys fought for 3 years. He was in an airport jail for 3 years while this went on, and they were fighting to have him extradited. At which point the county prosecutor said, yes, okay, seriously, I will actually take the death penalty off the cards. Just bring him back, please. And he went back to face his first-degree murder charge. The trial began in January 2010. There was no good testimony in Yaz's defense. But the defense aimed for, well, it was all circumstantial. There was a poison pill bottle, and there was him leaving the country. How do we know, the thing that we, know? There was a bottle with cyanide pills in it. Rosemary said he had given her a tablet. She was later found to have died of cyanide poisoning, and he fled the country. But how can you connect all this together?
The state's case here is entirely circumstantial in nature. And you will, or said another way, there is no hard evidence, no physical evidence, no scientific evidence whatsoever to connect Yazeed Essa to this crime.
Well, they said no forensics had been taken on the pill bottle, no fingerprints, nothing like that. Someone else could have put the cyanide into those capsules, and Yaz didn't have a clue.
They did not execute any search warrants at Margarita's home. You will hear that they made no effort, or very little effort, to investigate her as a suspect in this case.
He just fled the country because he wanted to go on a holiday.
And Reaperman, and it's, what's crazy is that just like reading your sentence, it's pretty scary. Like, if you really think about it, like, it can be second nature to some people. That's a scary sentence right there, because that's the reality of the case, and sometimes reality can be very terrifying. And you, like, with that sentence, you just basically you're hitting it right in the nail, because the fact that it's second nature to someone is just, it's mind-boggling to me. That's why I'm again, I've said it before, it's like I'm fascinated with the subject of true crime and murder mystery, not because of the actual murder, but like just what leads someone to that point. I view life as something so precious. It's hard for, like, and I understand obviously because there's data and there's scientific research, there's psychological research, but even with all that, it's just so mind-boggling to me how someone can get to the point of ending someone else's life intentionally. Not like a crime of passion, not something, like something of a certain situation that happens or something, but like really, when someone decides, like, I'm gonna end someone else's life, that's insane to me. And that portion of, I guess you can call it, I don't know, maybe like the psychology behind it. I don't know. I don't know. It's so intriguing to me. And it scares the crap out of me, because the more you see these things, the more you're like, damn, bruh, people are capable of anything. And that's pretty scary in and of itself.
And some of the people who testified against him, his brother, the guy who took him in Lebanon, they cut a deal with the prosecutors because they helped him, so the defense could pick them apart.
Yep. I mean, I view it a little bit differently in that case because you're in the military, but like I speak specifically of like situations like these cases, like all of these cases that we watch here. It's like normal day people that just like, I don't know, snap or they just like, or something happens in their life or a thought or something, or they meet someone or whatever the case, and then it leads to them committing those acts like that. I think that's what I always try to like pay more attention to, because I just find it so interesting. It's crazy. One of my favorite people just stopped by. How are you, Bowser? Hope you're doing great. Thank you for stopping by. Keo, how are you tonight? Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. But yeah. Again, how evil people can be is incredible to me. Right back at you, Bowser. Right back at you, bud. Alright, I'm gonna press play.
What if one of his mistresses wanted Yaz for themselves? He was happily married, and they put the cyanide in the capsules. The prosecution, on the other hand, had, everything else, including the fact that he bragged the shit about murdering Rosie while in Lebanon.
On April 20th, 2005, the Cuyahoga County coroner...
You are right, Reaperman. Actually, you know what? You are absolutely right. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that, those things happen. I always say that, I truly think that we should take way better care of our vets, and not only monetary care, but adding to that, mental health care, and assuring that when you come back from serving your country, you're able to use that there should be resources allocated to vets so that they can be able to go through the proper mending process that includes physical and mental. I've always been dumbfounded by that idea that there's so many vets that struggle in this country, and it shouldn't be that way at all. And yeah, I don't know. It's a sensitive. I'm sorry, Reaperman. I went a little over there. I guess I should have kept it a little bit more neutral, but yeah, it just bothers me a little. It bothers me. It bothers me because you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and there have been many cases that has happened. It's happened a lot, and I wish that vets would be better taken care of. I really wish. Can't even buy weed. Like that just blows my mind. A vet can't go into a dispensary and buy cannabis. Like that is like, and I know this because I remember driving and seeing the billboard, and it was a promotion that was going on here in Northern California, and it was called Weed for Warriors, and it was a campaign that they were trying to launch in order to provide vets with cannabis. And it worked for a while, but yeah, it was like a huge thing because of it, and I think they ended up having to stop it, and that sucks. It's like, I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I went in too deep. Yes, Bowser, 100%. It is. It is flawed. All right, moving on. Exactly, and that's like base level. Like, access to cannabis is like base level, bottom of like the barrel that you could do for a vet. Like, that's the least that you could do for someone that served their country proudly. The least. Yet, they don't even get that. They don't even get access to cannabis to help you with the same PTSD that a lot of vets come back with after serving their country.
Hail to the king, baby.
Thank you for that, Monster. Of course, Reaper. It's just... Of course. And just like you, Bowser, there's so many people. There's so many people that they have substituted taking pharmaceuticals for cannabis, or have decreased the amount of pharmaceuticals that they consume and have replaced it with cannabis. But it's just specifically for like vets. Like, it's like I just don't comprehend that. I don't comprehend it, and I think it's extremely unfair. Well, it depends on where you are. Because if you're in Oakland, totally, Dan, Oakland, psilocybin is legal. So you can actually buy psilocybin in stores that you can go with. And I think Oregon is the same thing as well. Not to go too deep into shrooms, but there are so many medical benefits. I mean, it's not even... There's a reason why they're trying to... pass legislation to allow psilocybin to be used for is it correct me, Chad, if I'm wrong, but is it vets, or is it... I know it has something to do with the military, because I remember it being... It's Dan Crenshaw and AOC that were working together to try to get, and I think they were able to get it passed in the House. I'm not sure, but I know it's using psilocybin as a substitute or as treatment for vets, I believe, and for the military. Yeah, Bowser. Yeah, it's that's like I said, Oregon and in Oakland specifically. Oh, and they're trying to expand that to other counties, but Oakland specifically, you can go into a shop and you can buy like you can buy chocolates. You can buy the shroom chocolates. Of course. You are right, Munin. The majority of medicines were made from plants. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and totally, Dan, you're absolutely right. Big Pharma definitely does not like that. You know what other news was was a hard-hitting news, and you're going to hear to whom that hard hit was, but I don't know if you guys saw that recently. Cannabis consumption in the United States actually beat tobacco consumption by a significant amount, like unnoticeable. I think it was like 60-30 or something. Like it's a very big amount, which now the tobacco companies they're losing it, because that last grasp that they had on the consumers of tobacco is drastically going down, because it's people would rather smoke cannabis, but that has never been heard of. Just the fact that you're able to say the sentence "cannabis beat tobacco" is in and of itself, that should be like headline story news everywhere. But I guess it's not. But number two would be the fact that tobacco is a really big industry, and they lobby really hard in Congress to be able to get their laws passed. The fact that